So image manipulation we are going to work on using JavaScript. So these 6 photos will come to your chat. You can use this photo, or if you have your own photo, you can use that also fine. We'll create another file here called data binding 7.html. In the same folder, data binding 7.html. In data binding 7.html, we will go through the HTML, follow the VS Code. This will reduce the possibility of mistake in the camel case, double code, a single code, and capital small. The problems are coming that will not come mostly if you follow the VS Code. HTML head section will follow. Under head section, we'll follow the script. Under script, we will write one function, get function one. Now inside the function one, you can receive here a parameter called pick name and alert the pick name. Alert the pick name. So whenever we will call this function, we will pass the parameter whenever we'll call this function, we'll pass the parameter now. Script is ready. Come to the body part. Under body tag, you can use the center tag here so that everything will print in the middle. In center tag, we can write here h1 JavaScript script and image. JavaScript and image binding. We can display one image here, src equal to 1.jpg that you have in the current folder. Height of the image 200, or keep 400, 500, 100, 500. Width of the image keep 500. ID equal to mypic. Mypic. Okay, ready. After that, we can check this file. One photo will appear. One photo will appear by default. Data binding 7. So height is less. Height 500 I should give. I given 50. Height is 500. Width is also 500. Okay. 500 height in my computer is little big size. In your system, you can make it little bigger or smaller. Just default size I made is 300 because my screen size is little small. Okay, something like this. Hope photo is coming. Now this photo will be changed. The photo is coming there. The photo can change by JavaScript according to user click or according to user navigation. Whenever the user will click somewhere, according to click, the photo can change. Now below we will display the remaining photos. 1, 2, 3, 4. One photo we display is the main photo. Remaining 2.jpg. Keep height somewhere 50 or maybe 70. Width is 80. And no need to give any ID. Now after that, we can go here. We can write as a 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have multiple photos, you can keep here. If you have only one photo, you can keep some more photo, then it will be much meaningful. .jpg equal height and width everywhere. Equal height and width everywhere. Check now. You get 4-5 photos in the bottom, something like this. Now wherever our mouse will go, suppose the mouse is in the photo number 3, particular photo will come here. Mouse is here, particular photo will come here. Wherever the mouse will go, the particular photo will appear on top. So in that case, JavaScript is going to play the major role. HTML is there where output is happening. Now user will come, user interaction will happen to the mouse, photo number 2 using the mouse. User interaction will happen to the photo number 2 using the mouse. On mouse move will happen. As soon as the mouse move will happen, then immediately one request will go to the JavaScript. On mouse move event will fire, on mouse enter event will fire, and one request will go to the JavaScript, and JavaScript will change the current photo with the requested photo. Okay, JavaScript will change the current photo with the requested photo. Now how that is going to work? Let's check once to the code level. We have already one function here called pick name. Inside the pick name, we can pass here on click first equal to function 1, and inside the function 1, you will pass 1.jpg. 1.jpg. Here again on click, you will pass 2.jpg, 3.jpg, 4.jpg, 5.jpg. 2, 3, 4. Okay, hope you called everywhere. On click, same function. Function is same, but the button click, this one is different. Which one is different? The photo name is different. 2.jpg, 3.jpg, 4.jpg. On click, okay, so I'll come to the browser again and click here. See 2.jpg, 3.jpg, 4.jpg, 5.jpg. That work we can do on the basis of on mouse enter also. So let me write here on mouse enter. On mouse enter. As soon as the mouse will enter inside the image area, event will get fired, and after that JavaScript function will call, and JavaScript function will receive the parameter as a particular photo name, and that photo is already exist in your current folder. JavaScript will change the complete source of a particular photo using the respective image. Okay, check now. On mouse enter, are we getting any click? On mouse enter, alert will come. But here, when we go and enter the mouse, as soon as the mouse will enter under the area, the alert will come. Coming. As soon as your mouse will go, your mouse will touch the button, alert will come automatically. Now, what we want to do, you are sending already photo 1234.jpg, correct? Already we are sending 1234.jpg. Next, what we will do is, next on when the mouse will enter under this particular image, 1.jpg, 2.jpg will go to the pic name, and you can see you have one big photo here. For that big photo, by default 1.jpg is the source, and for this we are given the ID called mypic. Now simply very silently JavaScript will write like this: document document dot get element by ID. In current document, find a element called mypic, and under the mypic, what we'll do, mypic dot src. Under the mypic, there is a property called src. That src property you can change here using the pic name. So under pic name, what is going to come? Under the pic name, it is going to come 123.jpg. Photo name is going to come under the pic name. Here by default, under the mypic src, you have 1.jpg. If you move your mouse on the photo number 3, the pic name will come 3.jpg. So here in the JavaScript at this place, we are changing the source of that particular element whose ID is mypic. So source is what by default 1. So here 453 will get assigned dynamically according to user mouse move. Wherever the mouse will go, according to mouse move, the photo name will pass, and the photo name will keep changing inside the browser. Yes, no, working, not working. You can check once. The reply also required. Once the mouse will move, according to mouse move, the photo will get changed. Suppose I will go here in the browser and look at here what is happening. If you go here, alert came. When I change the alert, photo will get changed. See, changing. Alert if you remove, it will become very smooth. Other people also Hope you are following. Okay. Now we'll move next. So this is something like this. Wherever your mouse will go, the photo will keep change. Okay. Next, after that, we'll write one small CSS for this. Suppose in current page, we have a photo called image. We have a tag called img. For this img tag, we'll give some border 10 pixel, solid white, border 10 px solid white. So border will be by default how much? 10 pixel. Which color? White color. Border will be by default 10 pixel and in white color. Next, after that, when img colon hover, 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 when mouse will go on image tag, this border will convert into red color. Border remains same, but color will get changed to the which color? Red color. Red color. Okay, and at the same time, cursor will convert into pointer. So it will feel like, yes, my mouse is here. Wherever the mouse is there, that photo only come under the image on the top. Let me come to the browser. Let's see here when the mouse will go changing. Border 10 pixel become little more. We can reduce little. 10 pixel or 20 pixel we are given. Keep 10 pixel. Then you can check. 10 pixel will be little less wide. There will be less space between the photos that look clear. Something like this. This is called image. You are changing the source of the image. Look at here. You are changing the source of image. This source is coming from where? On mouse enter. On mouse enter, the image name you send to the JavaScript. JavaScript went to the HTML and replaced the source. Okay, so that way it is working. Now next example will be, we have to use the for loop. Maybe we have to use map function, and we have to generate the data, and that data will go to the browser dynamically. There DHTML will come in the list. How to generate the dynamic paragraph, how to generate the dynamic, you can say division, dynamic, anything. Through the JavaScript, we can generate it easily. Okay, so create the next file. This file shall I share in the chat? Let me send you the 7.html data binding 7. Okay, let us come then. Next file, data binding 8.html based on array. Data will be first, will create a loop, and from the loop will generate the content, will send to the browser, then will come to the array point. Data binding, data binding, what I created. Data binding 8.html. Inside this file, you can start again. HTML is required. Follow the head section. Under the head section, we will use the script tag. Then come to the body. H1 we can write. Dynamic element using JavaScript loop. Inside JavaScript, you will run the loop, and through the loop inside the page, you are going to display the list of elements. The list of elements you are going to display. Now let's go here and write a button. Number list. Number list. Now on the number list, on click, equal to we will call a function called one. Coming down below, write a division. ID equal to something container. Now container is the element where JavaScript will send the contents. Container is the element where JavaScript will send the contents. JavaScript will send the contents. So this on click, now you are going to write a function variable one fat arrow method you can use here. Write a variable called maybe data equal to empty. So we created a variable called data. By default, it is empty. It has nothing by default. Okay, next after that, you are going to run a for loop here for variable, or before for loop, let's do like this. Under this data, keep as a h3, the number list, close the h3. After that, here you write document dot get element by id, which id that is called container dot inner HTML equal to the data variable. Okay. Now run the page and click on your button. Run the page and click on your button, number list button. Below it will display something. On click. When we click on the top, then it will display below something. That output will come the number list R. The number list R, something like this. Okay, so hope something like this. Now after this, let's run this file, it.html. See what is going to happen in it.html. On button click, some content will appear below. It will say the number list R. The number list R. Number is not coming below. We have to generate that and then we can get the elements. So what we will do now? You are going to run a for loop here. Suppose button click, we want to display 1 to 20. Button list, we want to display 1 to 20. So what you have to do? In paragraph, you have to write 20 times. In paragraph, you have to write 20 times and all the paragraphs will go to the browser. So JavaScript says like if you have some kind of repeated work, if you have some kind of repeating work again and again, then why you are going to write again and again? Run the for loop. There is a concept of for loop. Run the for loop and generate your dynamic statement, pass in the browser. So for example, now I will start a for loop. For a variable I equal to 1, I less than equal to 20 and I plus plus. So at this place, what is going to happen? A loop is going to start. That loop is going to come completely 1 to 20. Before the loop, you can see you have created a variable. Before the loop, we have created a variable. Data is holding something. After the loop, we are printing the data. Now between the variable declaration and variable binding, this is the binding part and this is the variable declaration, and now between both we are going to run the for loop, and after running the for loop, list of elements we will generate and will give to the data variable. How that will be? Suppose you keep here slash n, just for understanding purpose, slash n. Now again come here and you will see this loop will run 1 to 20 times without any doubt. Data equal to data plus. So data is a string variable. Data is a string variable here. It is holding the content in string format. Data equal to data plus. I will open a paragraph here, and under the paragraph, dynamically, under the paragraph, dynamically, we will pass a number. That is called I. Will pass a number that is called I. Will pass a number that is called I. Okay. I. Now what you will see is the paragraph is going to generate total 20 times dynamically. The for loop is going to generate the paragraph, and at last here you keep a alert to understand what is going to come under the paragraph. Alert as a data variable. Alert as a data variable. So first line, one data variable is holding something h3. Now in between, inside the data variable only you are assigning a equal to a plus b formula. You are assigning the paragraph, and this paragraph is holding the number as a 1 to 20. Finally, once the for loop will end, you are alerting the data. So under the data, there will be h3 and there will be 20 paragraphs. 20 paragraph that will come as a alert if you run it. 20 paragraph will come as a alert. Okay, okay, written. Now check this file. What is going to come? Click on number list. Alert will come in that 1 to 20 paragraph. You can see 1 to 20 completely. In beginning, you have H3 and 1 to 20 paragraph. When you click on OK, it will generate here the dynamic statement 1 to 20. When we click here, function will call, function will loop 20 times, 20 paragraph it will generate, paragraph will generate the dynamic element from your JavaScript, and finally it will go to the HTML as a inner HTML and display 1 to 20 numbers, right? So you can check once.
CRM, ideally, the final data should be in every loop should be the number list R1, the number list R2, because we are doing data plus, right? We are concatenating the final data. But while printing, it's only printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
H3 is out of the variable, out of the loop. H3 is out of the loop. H3 if you keep inside the loop, then it will come every time.
Okay.
H3 is not inside the loop. Okay, because of that.
Got it.
Keep H3 inside the loop. Here also it will come 1 to 20. Inside, see, it is like A equal to A plus B. Under the A, already some data is there. So your data becomes a variable. In that already something is there. Something will remain same. Now behind something, after something, like after H3, in the first loop, one paragraph will get added. Second loop, one more paragraph will get added. Third loop, one more paragraph will get added. It will not be same paragraph will same H3 will add again and again, because H3 is the initial value that is out of the loop. Okay, same H3 if you keep inside, then definitely it will generate multiple times. Okay, let's go ahead then. Alert, if you want, you can keep here, or if you don't want, you can remove here. /n is not required. /n was just we added for the understanding purpose. Yes, how the paragraph is generating. Now without /n, everything will come in one line. Without /n, everything will come in one line. Okay, let's go ahead. Now keep another button one more button. This alert I am removing from here. Okay, next after that, create one more button. Give the button name called item list or maybe book list. Call the function 2. Right here call book list. Now function 2 is going to read the data from one array. Function 2 is going to read the data from one array. Function 2 is going to read the data from one array. Write function 2. Function 2 is going to follow like this. And inside the function 2, you will create a array called book list equal to one array. Inside that, store some book name, PHP, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Angular, something React, something MySQL. Okay. Ready array. Now come down, create a variable again, data equal to h3, book list. Close the h3. Next after that, you will run again for loop, this line. For loop or map function you can use, little more standard. Book list dot map, name of the book and index of the book. Now after that, you are going to generate the paragraph inside. Paragraph inside. Name will add here, book name. Finally, once the loop will get over, map function will get finished. We can bind that list of elements inside the browser. Okay. If you want to see how that works, /n you can keep here, /n also you can keep here, and at this place, keep a alert call data. alert call data. Right, hope you added. Ready? Let's come to the browser. Click on second button. First button 1 to 20. Second button is saying like see book list, PHP, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Angular, React. All came in paragraph. Click on OK. It will list you here all the books. If you want to add the sequence, serial number of the book, we can add here index plus. You can add one more plus. Why? Because between serial number and name, there should be one dot is required. So this way we can do. Remove slash n and all, and then you can check it. It should work easily. Yes, no, also will come, will be helpful for me to move next, else I will keep waiting for you. You will keep waiting for me. For loop already you have implemented. Map we have implemented. This work we have done in JavaScript also pure. Map here and there also. Just there we did console.log. Now, instead of doing console.log, dynamically you are generating this one. Dynamically you are generating the HTML code using the JavaScript, and through inner HTML you are sending to the HTML. So list of paragraph we generated and we send to the division called container. List of paragraph we generated and we send to the division called container.
Shriram, some error is showing near the fat arrow.
Fat arrow, this line.
Yes, on line number 15. For me, it's showing. For you, it's fine.
Maybe we have missed out something. You can replace this line and sending you that line number 15. Maybe equal to is missed.
Yeah. Yeah, the variable should be in parameter should be in parenthesis.
Okay, anyone error or no error? Book list will come now. See, paragraphs are generating here. Source 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so we'll add some more button here. JavaScript is everything. Yeah, so we'll write the function button 3. Button 3 is going to call here. Button 3 will be having list of something, list of users, user list. Similar way, like button 2 itself, like function 2 only. So write a function called 3 variable function 3 equal to come down inside. You will create a array that will not be as a single dimensional array. It will be as a multi-dimensional array, but multi-dimensional array, but how that print? Let's create one array first. Variable user equal to square bracket. Inside you follow the this one name of the user Ramesh. Ramesh and age of the user 30 years. Okay, next after that second user, I'm keeping two user in one line. Ganesh, Ganesh and age is 40 years. Let me add one more user. Irfan, 35 years. Keep one more user. Alex, 20 years. Now we got total 4 users. So systematically, if we want to arrange it, all should be in the new line. After that, you can do the right click and format document. Format document. Space wise, everything will be optimized properly. Format document, space wise, everything will get arranged properly. Okay, now come down below. You have to write a for loop again. Map function you can use again. So I'll keep a variable here for user list or maybe data variable. That's called as a user list. Inside the user list, now you are going to run again map function user dot map info user info comma index. What will come in that? The gendered paragraph only. This line, same like what we have written here. This paragraph we can generate here. But when we generate paragraph, right, instead of index, we will give here call info dot name, and next we'll give info dot age. Why? Because your info variable is going to hold individual user details in every iteration. Your which variable? The user info variable. User info variable is going to hold the complete one user details. Complete one user details in every loop. So in complete one user details, what we'll find? Name and age. So I have printed info.name and info.age. After that, Ready? Check now. This line document dot get element by ID, we must have to add in the last after the loop. Then it will give you the list of users. If we are checking that, we got the list of users, name. This is only the number. This is data from the single dimensional array. This is data from the multi-dimensional array. User list click not happen anything. Function 3 is okay. Okay, on click equal to, I made any mistake here. On click equal to 3 is calling is okay. 1 2 is different color, 3 is different color. Let me the 3 THR is missing. Because of that color combination was different. 3. Okay, check once. Now it will give you the list of users from the multi-dimensional array. Okay, coming name and age. We will be working on this, saving the data, listing the data, editing the data, all we have. Correct. Let me share these two files, file number 7 and 8. Today files are 8, 7, 7, 8, 2 files. Okay, it's come to your chat. But are everyone is writing or how it is? So we are writing or just only watching? Better suggestion will be we should write along with me. Reason is what? See, JavaScript, you cannot say directly you are very good or where you are very bad, because somewhere what will happen is we think like we know everything, but somewhere there will be problem when we come to the point we feel difficulties. Okay, so my suggestion will be we can keep our hand in the practice, because when complexity is going to come, Our fingers should not say what you are doing today. If it has faced the problem as small issues, then it will be okay to manage. So better suggestion will be keep writing, not running. I'm not running in the very fast speed. After writing one line, I wait for your response. Okay, that way I'm going on. So hope you will be following me. Okay. Okay, then again we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow task is like we will be moving little on next level. We will create the page where we will enter the value, array manipulation, single dimensional array, saving the data, listing the data, deleting the data. That is a tomorrow task. Next day will be multi-dimensional array data, saving, listing, deleting. Next day will be nested array data, maybe add, save, list, delete everything. Okay. After that, we'll come to the JSON server, or maybe on the fetch function. We will bring the data not from our local machine. Same data will bring from the API, from the server, somewhere else. I have many URLs. From there, we'll get the data. So keep writing. It will be very, very helpful for upcoming days. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow.